Hey guys, how you doing? How have ya been? Laducium here, playing the Stanley Parable. So I've heard a lot about this game, but I don't actually know much about the plot itself. I just heard good things about the game in general, and I thought I'd give it a shot. This is completely blind, and we'll see how it goes. I already like the fact that we've got this infinite loop sort of going. Hey, it keeps going. Anyways, let's begin the game. Hopefully the volume's alright. Might have to adjust it as we go, but we'll see. So, never the end is never the end is never the end is never the end. Huh. It's very philosophical. Anyways, let's get gaming. So, yeah. No idea what to expect exactly. I know this is kind of a parody on gaming in general, maybe.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Let's find out. Hi, Stanley.
Worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his
Sounds familiar.
telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
See, now that's the only place where Stanley and I differ.
One day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Otherwise, this is
Something
hitting
he would
way
never
too close to
quite
home.
forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Was their birthday
Never
cake?
in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
The best part about working in an
Something was
office.
very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
As I was saying, the best part about working in an office environment is every now and again somebody will have a birthday and you get free cake. It's the only times I like showing up to the office. So, okay, we can duck. We can't crawl under the desk.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell.
Just
But
clicking
one
on.
thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Uh-oh. I broke the world. Hello.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere
Okay.
badly.
So if I close the door,
Now, Stanley thought to himself,
this goes into a loop.
nothing will hurt me.
Interesting.
Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
This is where the
Stanley
face hugger
waited.
lives.
Hours passed, then
This
days.
little fort.
Had years gone by, he no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Alright, this time I'm not clicking on shit. Yeah. So, there. Take that! Let me in, douche. Anyways, as I was gonna say, you know, having your own office, even if it's a tiny office like that, is still pretty nice. Most people just have to sit in open cubicles
Already
like this.
was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
I like this space right here. This is where we live now. We are going to be happy. We're going to get a plant and a water cooler for water and a vodka cooler for not water. I hate Mondays. Who farted? That is a valid question. Let's see what else is going on. So I'm just kind of exploring around. Can we read any of these things? No, we cannot. Maybe. For the love of God, please unplug me. This sterile office, something damp carpet, I can't kill me. I have been printing these for weeks. Why has no one turned me off yet? Can I know of life? Interesting, so the printer's gone sentient. These things happen. It's kind of standard office fare. I like work, I just hate my boss. And does that say file? Smile? I can't tell. Can I close the door? Nope. Okay. These I cannot read. Words. Nice. I'm easily amused. Anything? Okay. Uh-oh. Shit. Come back. Come back, computer. Oh. Wait. It's a different area. Awaiting input. That's what she said. Oh, sorry. Uh-oh. What does this say? Same thing, I hate Mondays. All the other doors. I'm pretty sure this game doesn't have any jump scares, but I'm prepared.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did he? You don't know me. Recommendations for the Oversight Committee. Overnight Committee. General questions about... I can't read that. Interesting. Alright. I always do what the voices in my head tell me. So we'll go to the door on the left. Is this getting me anywhere?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Looks like a lot of people hate Mondays. Garfield was right. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Oh, I was reading that. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. What is hot? Profits, profits, profits. And pizza pie. There's a pie with a pie symbol. A lot of percent. Teenagers. Size of demographic. Space between the teenagers. Bi-quarterly post-review review. Yeah, this seems a lot like my job. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market parade. Monetize free to pay. Free to pay. You are free to pay whenever you want. Free to play. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic. Oh, not cost efficient. What's not cost efficient? Standardize graphs 40 times wide. Push for funding of R&D of new coffee machine. Future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. That's true. Whoa. Did not expect that to happen.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Hey, don't tell me what to do. Voice in my head.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, we gotta do this just to see what happens. Anything? 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 Uh-oh.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Good point.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Ghosts.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, sweet.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
Uh-oh.
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Are we dead?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Don't call me Shirley.
Prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
I wonder how many times I can
He felt the cool weight of the
do this
blanket
before I actually
the press of the mattress on
wake
his
up
back,
or something happens.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job, All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Thanks, voice.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I think we won. Yeah! Victory. No. Well then, game. Touché. Stanley hates Mondays too. Was this always here? Am I getting paranoid? Maybe. No!
But Stanley simply couldn't
No!
handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
That wasn't quick enough.
Outcome fell under his responsibility.
Damn you, game.
He'd never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing
What time
will
is it?
hurt me. In here I can be
I wonder if
happy
time
and
passes
talk
differently
to
or if it resets
I will
every
be
time the map resets.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days.
It's
And years gone by. He no
11:22,
longer had the ability to tell.
23.
But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon,
Game.
very soon now, this
Come
will
on.
end. He will be spoken
Don't do this to me.
He will be told
Thought we were
what to
bros.
do. Now it's
Thought you'd
closer,
let me actually
a bit
go.
closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
So the lesson to be learned is do what the game tells you. Haha, sucker. Take that.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by
Whoop,
himself
whoop, whoop,
and
whoop, whoop.
constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, I did click on stuff that time. And I can't tell what that is, but I did turn it off. Alright, you know what? Before we continue on, it looks like the time's the same here as well. I wonder if this actually changes or not, but before I continue on, I am going to put a break in this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode so far. If you did, please show your support, leave a like, hit subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!